How to use Teach a Student to Spell Level 1. Teach a Student to Spell is the follow-up workbook series to the Teach a Student to Read reading program, which strives to teach students accurate and complete information about the English spelling system. Level 1 consists of 36 spelling lists of 8 to 10 words each, based on the most common words in English. The goal of Level 1 is to teach the spellings of the most common English words and common English bases. At the beginning of the workbook is an explanation of IPA notation. IPA is the International Phonetic Association alphabet. IPA is a standardized representation of speech sounds in written form. The workbook includes a guide to IPA for those unfamiliar with the notation. For example, the letter that looks like an A attached to an E, the letter ash, represents the vowel in cat, ham, and sad. Many dictionaries use IPA to show pronunciation, so learning IPA notation is another beneficial skill that comes from using the Teach a Student to Spell program. Each list begins with a statement of what is taught by the words in the list, followed by the word list. For example, List 1 includes function words, that the grapheme E can spell E, and that a digraph is 2 letters that spell one sound. While using Teach a Student to Spell Level 1 with my students, I begin by reading the information at the beginning of each list aloud. For example, for List 2, I say to my student, "This list has words in which the grapheme I can spell I." I then have the student read the words it, its, in, if, is, him, his. We talk about how every I in each of these words spells I. The student then writes each word 3 times. We read any extra information about the spelling of a word together. For example, in is, the S spells Z, see also his. The word his is related to he and him. The S spells Z. Each list contains 5 activities. The student can complete one activity each of the 5 days of the week. The activities are not all about rote memorization. Some are about using the word in context, which is a great way to practice spelling. The final activity is a test. I read each word aloud to my student, and my student writes the words down, drawing on their knowledge of the English spelling system. If my student misspells any of the words, they can review the missed words by practicing the spelling again. The primary function of English spelling is to represent meaning. Spelling is not just sounds written down. The spelling of a word reflects its meaning, parts, history, relatives, and finally sounds. Teach a Student to Spell Level 1 is the first follow-up workbook to the Teach a Student to Read reading program, which strives to teach students accurate and complete information about the English spelling system. Instead of only learning spelling through rote memorization, students will learn the reasons for the spellings of words, thus learning how the English writing system works.